Welcome to the Google Earth Tour for the River Street Digital History Project website. My name is Bill White. I am the website's creator, and I wanted to show you a few features about the Google Earth Tour that we put together, documenting the River Street neighborhood's history. So there was quite a bit of effort put into this, creating this Google Earth Tour, which you can download as a file from the website. So first, before you can use this tour, you have to have Google Earth either downloaded and installed on your computer, or you need to have it downloaded to your tablet or phone, whichever device you're using to take the tour. So if you're on the website, you can enter your email and download the files that will then upload to Google Earth, and you'll be able to do several different functions, which I'm going to show you some of them today. So once you've downloaded the files, they'll open up in your Google Earth. You'll be able to access them. And first, I'm just going to show you a quick walking tour that describes the sights and scenes there in the River Street neighborhood, and then I'll show you some of the functions. So here we go. So if you're new to the website, the River Street neighborhood is in the state of Idaho, and I'm not sure where you're viewing this from. Idaho's in the western United States. Boise, Idaho is the capital of Idaho, and the River Street neighborhood is there in Boise. You can see it's in central Boise. So the dimensions of the neighborhood have changed over time. Today it's greatly reduced compared to what it used to be. But in the past, it used to encompass all the area from Americana Boulevard to 9th Street here. Over time, there's been several features that have changed the neighborhood and really defined its character. Warehouses here between the 1920s and 1950s started to spring up, but the core of the neighborhood has always been its residential area. The Boise River has been dammed for a long time, but it was decades before anyone did any kind of development on the floodplain, mainly because of the threat of floods. Riverside Park was one of the early amenities there in the River Street neighborhood, and it used to have bandstand, dance hall, and a baseball park in the early 1900s. So going to the neighborhood, Lover's Lane, it's now the Pioneer Walkway, but it used to have an infamous character as the red light district there in River Street neighborhood, but the residents insist that it was mainly just an entertainment district. River Street residents have always operated several different businesses there, and Blackjack's Barbecue is one of the most infamous ones. Used to have the best barbecue sauce in town, but it also had a reputation for illicit activities. People in the neighborhood had shopping options. They could get their groceries at two different grocery stores, Pearl Grocery and Zurcher's. The Zurcher's building is actually still there today. There hasn't been too many efforts to preserve many buildings, except for the Irma Hayman House. It was occupied by several different black families throughout the 20th century, and it's the only entirely sandstone building in the neighborhood. In the 1970s, John Bertram moved into the neighborhood and started his business Plan Makers, focusing on historic preservation in downtown Boise. Now, part of the Digital History Project includes interviews with former residents, and it's interesting to see the things that they remember. For instance, most residents remember playing at that gravel pit that's now a parking lot. Lee Street is the only part of the River Street neighborhood that's been recommended for historic preservation. It was recommended in the 1980s and in 1995, and it's one of the few intact pieces of the neighborhood. So zooming out, you can see some of the functions there on Google Earth. So now here we are at the beginning of the tour. Downloading all those points from the website, you'll be able to access certain locations, certain polygons and points in the neighborhood, but also um, we've included pictures with several of the other locations like Riverside Park. There's associated historical photos with Riverside Park. There's this. All the photos that exist of Riverside Park came from the Idaho State Historical Society archives in Boise, and Riverside Park was operational between 1902 and 1912. But after that, it still continued to have a recreation function because it used to be part of a Girl Scout camp, and it also used to be part of like a Forest Service building that used to occupy this whole area right here, where there's now warehouses. The Boise Public Library is right over here, and these commercial buildings that are right here along the river. Baseball was a major attraction there at Riverside Park. And you can always go into Lover's Lane on the website. Some of the tools that we've added, some photos of Lover's Lane. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. I guess persistence is key. So nowadays Lover's Lane is a walkway, a recreational bike path and walkway, but in the past it used to be flanked with businesses of all different sorts, owned by blacks and whites, and it was kind of an entertainment area. So you can explore the site as you wish yourself. There's different photos of places in the neighborhood, and you can use them as you travel through the neighborhood on your own. So also included with this Google Earth file is a bunch of historical maps that we've gotten from the Idaho State Historic Archives, and they've been geo-rectified to what's left of the River Street neighborhood, and you can turn them off and on as you wish. So let's say you want to see what the neighborhood looked like in the 60s. Well, it looks pretty much similar to the way that it does today, except these railroad tracks have been taken out, and now that's Myrtle Street and part of the connector. 1891, if you want to check it out. This is right around the time that most of River Street was platted. So you can see there's the boundary of what's left of River Street, and you can see that the Boise River used to occupy a huge portion of the neighborhood. And then what's cool, if you want to see where several things in the neighborhood used to be located at a certain period of time, you can turn that on. So in 1891, Riverside Park, it occupied this area. Pearl Grocery used to be right around here. And then let's say you want to check it out in 1935. Alright, well, turn on your 1935 layer. That's where Pearl Grocery used to be. Gravel pit that everybody remembers, right around there. So you can go through this and check it out at your own leisure. All of the historical maps have been geo-rectified as well as possible. Because we use the projection that Google Earth uses, it's difficult to get each map to overlay exactly, but it's a pretty good match to the way the neighborhood looks today. Alright, that's basically all I've got. So go to the website, download the files. You'll be able to unlock all these places and check out the photos that are associated. I encourage you, if you live in Boise, to actually go down to River Street, use the tour, use the files, and if you want to help make this website and the tour better, please give us comments. Give a comment on the website, send us an email. We would love to know how this is used and how we can improve upon it. Thank you for your time. Bill White with the River Street Digital History Project. Take care.